Saijya, Samipya, Salokya.
It's from chapter 1.
Yes, that's from chapter 1.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I know.
We talked about Mataji, brief history of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu and biography of the author. What is
Yes.
Bhakti Rasa
Mhm.
and what is the purpose of nectar of devotion, sorry.
Okay. Yes.
So the purposes are like to make each of us Goswami. And we discussed about last week also, Mataji, to explain what is Bhakti Rasa and mundane Rasa.
Yes.
And signs of perfectly loving all living entities. These are all the
That is
significant.
one of the purposes of
So,
NOD. Okay.
yeah. Mm. What is Amrita? That we
Okay.
discussed.
Okay.
And we discussed about the rasas, Mataji. Like one of them is the mundane rasa. Two of the categories are mundane rasa and bhakti rasa. That is what one Bhumi Mataji was saying about the Chapala Sukha and that.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. I think someone else can contribute.
Okay.
I think there's also the Bhoga Tyaga, and then I was reading the preface. There's that analogy of the businessman and how he
Yes.
spends the weekend somewhere else just to forget about work, but then he just has to go back to work, which is which is kind of ironic. I like that one.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like we can't continue having one type of enjoyment. We have to go back and forth, toggle back and forth between enjoyment and getting back to our routine. And it's like it's termed as renunciation, but it's really not. Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what the American workforce is like these days. It's like everyone's looking forward to that Friday, and then once the Monday comes in, everyone's depressed and then looking forward
Yes.
to another Friday.
Yes. Yes. True. Very practical. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So we'll just go through very quickly again. All of you shared different things. That's very nice. Thank you. So preface mainly deals with two things, two subject matters. We always should remember. One is a brief history of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. You know how who is Rupa Goswami and his brief life sketch, And then there is description or discussion on Bhakti Rasa. That is in the context where there is discussion about difference between material, mellows or material rasa and then Bhakti Rasa. And in relation to that, then we just went into Bhakti Rasa Amrita Sindhu, and then Prabhupada describes Bhakti as what? Bhakti as an activity with love and devotion. It's not just sentiments, it's not just feelings, it's expression. It is an act of service that actually makes bhakti as bhakti, actually. Then, why are we engaged in this? Because every living entity is by nature pleasure seeking. It's not wrong to look for happiness, but then it's just that looking for it in the right ways and right places is what is going to make it permanent versus bhoga tyaga. So, and happiness in general comes from our relationship with, there is exchange of interactions, exchange of feelings or emotions is what is going to actually give pleasure or displeasure, basically. But displeasure is in this world, and in spiritual world, it's any interaction that we have, even though apparently it may look like distress, actually produces rasa, So, and then unto who bhakti, just unto Krishna, if you remember, and then how bhakti to be offered or practiced is just by watering the root, how everything is nourished. Similarly, we actually centralize our exchange of, our offering of bhakti to a centralized person. A central person is actually Krishna, who, when we offer to him, then all his part and parcels are nourished. So examples are watering the root and feeding the stomach. All these things are given, right? Then there's discussion about rasa. All of you shared, so wonderful. Chapala Sukha, flickering happiness, and Bhoga Tyaga are the qualities of mundane rasa. And then we have Bhakti Rasa. Purposes of NOD, if you remember, Srila Prabhupada writes this literature is actually the prayer and the intention of this literature is to make each of us a Goswami, to explain Bhakti Rasa and mundane rasa, and then to give practical hints to live in material world, how to live here and then still practice devotion. So it's not easy because we have so many things in parallel going on. So how can we just bring ourselves to our purpose actually? And then stimulate our original love in one of the 5 rasas. So when we keep studying, hearing and contemplating the subject matter and discussing this further and further and praying for Krishna's revelation, and then it stimulates. But if we don't even have a context of what we want to pray, then we don't even ask for the right thing. So then science of perfectly loving all living entities and to nurture the devotional life of practicing devotees, And then introduction covers 3 topics. So preface covers 2 topics always, you think about this at this point, like how can we bring our memory to use? We all have lots of, actually we all have memory, right? I mean, we remember many things in life. We may remember what we did when we were 5 years old. We went to wherever amusement park or something. We remember that. We remember when we associate the content with a particular emotion, then we will remember. So why is this important? Because we want to actually give different samskaras to our mind than what it has. If we have something, a capacity, use it for our benefit, right? So we are not remembering for the sake of exam, but we are remembering to just relish it later on also in our lives as we practice, yeah? So in introduction, 3 topics are covered. Quickly, Mangala Charana, meaning offering of, invocation. And then description of books contents. And then definition of devotional service is so crucial. Right? Introduction covers these 3 topics. Mangala Charana, invocation. And then it's on the screen. Mangala Charana, then?
A brief description of the
Yeah.
content.
So, yes, yeah. Description of contents, that is meaning like 4 waves, right? Yeah. I'm not 4 waves, 4 directions, and then inside that, like 4 waves. Yeah, okay. And then there is definition of pure devotional service. Really good definition, actually. So, if we remember Mangala Charana, what are the 3 components in Mangala Charana? Anybody?
Object of the book is Krishna. Then offering obeisances from Rupa Goswami offers obeisances to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Sanatana Goswami. Srila
Yes.
Prabhupada offers obeisances to Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. To all Vaishnavas, basically. And
Yes.
the benedictions protects the readers from argumentative logicians.
Wonderful. Very nice. Yeah. So, in this, the shark analogy is very important. So, you can all go through that as well. But wonderful. Very nice. So, Mangala Charana, 3 components, right? Now, then, object of the book, Akila Rasamrita Murti. You have to always remember this, how Krishna, as the abode or reservoir of all pleasure, all rasas, is actually the object of Bhakti Rasa Amrita Sindhu. One second, I sat outside. I'm feeling a little sick. Let me just go inside. But then we'll anyway continue discussing. So there is this analogy that Prabhupada uses to describe Vaishnavas. I'm going to just take off the video and keep talking until I settle down. You don't have to see all the movements. Yeah. So, yeah, sharks, how the analogy of sharks is used by Prabhupada. Interesting that he compares devotees to sharks. So he says how sharks refuse to reside in any lesser body of water, right? And then similarly, devotees refuse pleasures from anything less than devotion, because there is all kinds of possible ways to attain pleasure. But then centrally, devotees always remember that I want to just really have something that is permanent, that's higher, not something temporary and not something self-centered, so I'm back inside. Okay. So devotees refuse pleasures from anything less than devotion. We don't have to do this now. Okay. And the second reason is sharks reject rivers. Similarly, here in this context, actually, when sharks are rejecting rivers, this analogy is taken by the devotees, impersonalists, as how all the rivers are merging into ocean. Similarly, all the paths lead to the same purpose. That's kind of a very illogical argument that is being proposed by impersonalists. So devotees don't accept that, right? So impersonalists don't distinguish the person who is practicing bhakti from the path. They think it's all merging, right? There's no differentiation. But devotees use the same analogy to explain how each aquatic in there is an individual living entity. So river probably flows into, not probably, river merges into or flows into the ocean, but the living entities, they don't merge into ocean. So they are actually remain as individual living beings with their own, each living entity has their own identity. It's not merging, right? And then sharks are not caught by fisherman's net. So devotees with the depth of Krishna consciousness, they're not bewildered and attracted by matter, So these are some things that we can actually remember. It's not like we are up there, right? All of us are struggling, like practicing devotees. So we are not really up there. But then when we see these analogies, we can take courage. When we get carried away by something, either good or bad that happens in our life, when we get carried away by it, we can remember how Prabhupada actually appreciated devotees to be like sharks, that they don't get caught by a fisherman's net. Then when we get caught, we can actually take courage to come out of the net, So we don't have to always be perfect to relate with these examples, to relate with these. We don't have to be perfect. But with imperfection, how can we appreciate and receive inspiration from this content is important. Yeah. So this is not for somebody out there. This is for us. Yeah. So, all right. And then Rupa Goswami then invokes benediction, like how Supriya Mataji clearly mentioned. Okay. Now the authoritative definition of devotional service. Important verse to memorize. Let us try to recollect the verse. Somebody tell the first half of the verse. Or I will start it somewhere. Yeah, go ahead. Yamala Bhakti Mata. Yeah.
Anyabhilasita sunyam jnana karmadi anavritam anukulyena krishnanushilanam bhaktiruttam.
Okay. Now somebody can tell what is Anya Abhilashita Shunyam. What does it mean? Someone else?
Devoid of all material desires
That's
and
it. So
philosophical.
that's it.
Okay,
Only
okay.
Anya Abhilashita Shunyam. I want to go piece by piece. Okay. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna,
So,
Mataji. Sorry.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Thank you. So, Anya means any or other, right? Abhilashita means desires. Shunyam means zeroed. So, devoid of all varieties of materially motivated desires. Yeah, all varieties. So this is Anya Abhilashita Shunyam. Now someone else who hasn't spoken, what is the next part of the definition? Anya Abhilashita Shunyam, then what is it?
Jnana Karmadi Anavrutam.
Okay, what is that?
Mental speculation, divide of mental speculation. Abhilashita, yeah, and divide of fruitive work.
Yeah, so devoid of fruitive activities, the fruitive endeavors and mental speculation. Okay, Anya Abhilashita Shunyam, Jnana Karma Adi Anavratam. So these two are what does Rupa Goswami say about these two qualities or these three, whatever? What are they called?
The secondary characters.
Yes, secondary characteristics. Yes, Tatastha Lakshana of pure devotional service. Because this is not the main focus. The second sentence is the main focus. Somebody else who can continue with the definition?
Anukulyena means favorable intention, ma'am.
Okay, Anukulyena. Now, Anukulyena favorably disposed or favorable intention towards who?
Krishna.
Krishna. That is exclusively to Krishna. So, Anukulyena Krishna. Someone else, what's the next word? Keyword.
Sheelanam.
Anushilanam. Yes. Okay. What is Anushilanam, Anjali Mataji?
Following in the footsteps of the previous acharyas.
Yes. So Anu means to follow. Shilanam means to cultivate. So we are cultivating based on our previous acharyas' directions or their example. So until now we covered what all did we do? Anya Abhilashita Shunyam. Right? Jnana Karma Adi Anavratam. Yeah. Anukulyena, favorably disposed to Krishna Anushilanam. Last word is, what is the last for the Bhakti Ruttama. Yeah, Bhakti Ruttama, meaning pure devotional service. So this definition is important. Let's see. The heart of Bhakti, pure devotional service, is Anukulyena, favorable intention. Yeah. Then to Krishna exclusively by following the previous acharyas. See, when you see the literal definition in the book or anywhere, this following of the previous acharyas is not explicitly said, okay? But I want all of you to really write this down because this is something that is important for all of us. So even in the test, if this question comes, I want you to remember this crux point, even though it's not in the book, because it's not explicitly mentioned, but this is the main thing, right? So Anukulyena Krishna Anushilanam is primary characteristics or Swarupa Lakshana. And then Anya Abhilashita Shunyam, Jnana Karma Adi Anavritam are the secondary characteristics or Tatastha Lakshana. Okay. So now we completed introduction. So preface and introduction we have recapped. Now we'll go into chapter 1 recap. Okay. Chapter 1 is, what is chapter 1?
General description of pure devotional.
Otherwise, what else can we say?
Characteristics of pure devotional service.
Okay. There was a Sanskrit term that we used. Samanya Bhakti.
Samanya.
Okay. Because there are four, when there's an ocean of nectar of devotion, there are four directions, right? Eastern, Western, Northern, Southern. And in our Bhakti Sastri, we deal with Eastern Ocean because other things are pretty esoteric and we're always advised to study them after thoroughly studying Srimad Bhagavatam. You know? So Eastern Ocean, in that four waves, right? First wave is chapter 1, Samanya Bhakti. Second wave is 2 to 16,
Sadhana Bhakti.
Sadhana Bhakti. Third wave is
Prema Bhakti.
Bhava.
And Bhava. Yeah.
Bhava, yeah, 17 and 18. And then now
Prema Bhakti.
Prema Bhakti is the last 19th chapter. Perfect. Okay. So Now we will just go through quickly the characteristics of these three categories: sadhana, bhava, and prema. Okay, so each of these, when a practice, when a living entity starts practicing bhakti, Bhakti Devi is very reciprocal. You know, if someone comes and serves you or tries to interact with you and like develop relationship with you, won't you reciprocate? We always will do something in return, right? Like something, like even at least a smile or an appreciation or something else or sharing our own heart. So these things are natural in a relationship. So in the process of bhakti also, it is always relationship oriented. So there's always reciprocation from Krishna, reciprocation from Bhakti Devi, reciprocation from the process of from internal energy itself. So now, when a practitioner tries to practice sadhana bhakti, oh, I don't have that in this. Oh, it is there. Unhide. Okay. All right. So when someone starts to practice or attempts to practice sadhana bhakti, two benedictions or two qualities or characteristics become manifest. First, klesha agni. Agni means burning it, like fire, right? Klesha means miseries. Yeah. So destruction of material miseries begins with practicing sadhana bhakti. Yeah. So this is first quality. Now I have a question for you. Do we all feel that our material miseries are removed? We have been practicing for a while. No.
No.
So, what does it mean that our material miseries are removed? How can you put it in context? Yes, Ranjita Madhav, are going to say something.
No, Madhuri.
Okay. So, what does it mean then that sadhana bhakti removes, destroys? What does it mean? Yes, Madhavi.
We develop maturity, Mataji, to see them in the right perspective.
Okay. So, what is getting destroyed here then? You remember what's the origin of
Ignorance.
Ignorance, yeah.
Ignorance.
Vibhrama, ignorance,
Vibhrama.
right? Ignorance of our spiritual identity, ignorance of Krishna,
Falsehood.
ignorance of our relationship with Him, and ignorance of process. All these are getting destroyed. So, at least theoretically, all of us know that we are spirit souls. Theoretically, all of us know that there is Krishna, who is the Supreme Lord. And it's a growth curve that has to happen at this point, but it has begun for us, right? So the expectation that we should have from sadhana bhakti when we say kleshagni also has to be proper, like actual realistic expectation. And as we grow, it's gonna definitely keep giving us more and more clarity in life. With clarity comes some level of relief from misery, right? So that's how actually sadhana bhakti gives us relief from misery. And what is the second way of sadhana bhakti gives relief from misery? Do you remember four sinful reactions? Four kinds of sinful reactions. All of you remember?
Yes, Mataji.
Bijam, Kutam,
Yeah.
Aparat, and
Thank you very much. Ranjita Mataji, speak.
Yeah. Bijam, Kotam, Aprarabdha, Prarabdha.
Okay, now someone. Okay, Amala Bhakti Mate, how do you describe this aprarabdha?
Unmanifested sin, Mataji. It's not,
Okay.
we are not experiencing yet.
Yes, so it's in the store, but nothing is manifested. It's in the stock and in the pile. Okay. All right, unmanifest. Now, someone else who hasn't spoken, kindly share one of the. So, aprarabdha is unmanifest sinful reactions. Yeah. Next is what?
Prarabdha,
No,
55.
before that, aprarabdha is
Bijam.
unmanifest.
Good
Bijam.
night. Bijam.
The effect
Yes.
that is lying as a seed. Desire
Okay.
to commit sin.
Desire to commit sin. Okay, so yes, sure. So this is bijam, right? The seed as almost a seed is becoming prominent now. Before that, the seed was not even prominent, it was lying there. You see what I'm saying? See, whatever past sinful reactions, sinful activities that we have done, it always bounces back as reaction, correct? And the reaction is not just physical difficulty, reaction is actually even the seed to commit another sin is also a reaction. The feeling that I'm attracted to this, it's also a reaction, interestingly. You see what I'm saying? It's a cyclical activity. A living entity commits something and then again get attracted to the same thing, or even further worse thing is actually a reaction. Very strange. So it's like a trap. It's like a trap that once something is committed, then one again and again. Like for if a thief, for example, first time when the person goes for stealing might have some hesitation, and the second time a little less, third time a little less, fourth time actually nothing, right? So the first activity has given impetus, or the what do you call, the seed for committing that again and again and again. It's like that. Yeah, I think Achita Mata, yes.
Mataji, sometimes you just said that the things just come again and again, and you don't want to think that, but it sometimes it just can go away.
Yeah.
How you come with that? Like it's like you don't want to think about it, but it just comes right there and it stays there forever. Like I feel like it,
Yeah, so you
and I
mean
don't
the
want to think
thought.
about that, huh?
Yes, the thought that comes, you mean to
Yes,
say.
I don't want to think about that, but it comes in your heart. No matter how
Yeah.
much I just start praying, like, okay,
Yes.
Hare Krishna loudly, but still
Yeah.
that thought does not go away.
Yeah, it's not easy because this is like a trap for us, right? We have got into this trap. But when I get into this situation, what I'm understanding these days is this is also devotional service, that I tolerate it but not indulge in it.
Mhm.
And this gives us natural humility that you're able to even speak about it in front of so many Vaishnavas. It's a great step, actually, that you're expressing that, hey, this thought is coming to me. It requires a lot of courage and humility to share that I'm going through this. That is a success for us. That's success for you, Mantaji. So that success is very precious. So you gotta appreciate yourself for even expressing it. And all we can do is we turn it into Krishna's. See, whatever happens, then we turn it into offering as Krishna. Hey, I'm really not capable of practicing this by myself.
Yeah, I do
And
that.
then exactly, right? And then we feel genuinely humbled, not artificially humbled.
Yes.
Genuinely humbled. And when we feel genuinely humbled, we also feel genuinely grateful.
Yes.
That wow, okay, so I am struggling, I'm having this difficulty, but yet I'm getting to be chanting, I'm getting to do this, I'm getting to do that. And then this space in the heart becomes softer towards even others who are struggling.
Mhm.
you know it kind of becomes softer, our hearts become softer. And at this point, the way I process this is, I cannot stand on one leg like Dhruva did. I
Yes.
cannot endure fire and go under the elephant's leg like Prahlad did. I cannot do none of that, actually. I can't even do 16 rounds properly. So it's just so hard. So whatever struggle I'm going through is the austerity that I'm going to offer.
Okay.
My own mental difficulties or mind's demands, tolerating that is the only austerity I can offer at this point of time at the feet of Krishna. So this is also devotional service when we tolerate for the sake of Krishna.
Okay.
So it is not extraneous for us at this point. So we want to, it's like Prabhupada says, best use of bad bargain, right?
Yes.
So we are all in bad bargain situation. So we want to just offer it as I can't do any other austerity, but I can do one thing I'll try is let me tolerate my own mind's proposals and not indulge in them as much as possible, you know, and not get into, and if I indulge and if I for some reason for my weak spot I lost it, I'll come back.
Mhm.
So let me come back. That's also an austerity because these are the things that require genuine courage and humility and faith. So we keep coming back.
Okay, Mataji.
Yeah, very nice. Thank you very much for that question. Very
Thank you,
practical.
Mataji.
Yeah. See how our process is not about too many rules and regulations, even though there are rules and regulations. We'll see in NOD, there's like a whole bunch of rules and regulations are going to come in 6th chapter, 7th chapter, but it's still not rules and regulations. It's actually the heart that's behind, and then as much we should keep trying for sure. But if we fail, if it's not like one time failure is or 10 times failure is not life failure
Yes.
like that. Yeah. Thank you for that
Thank you,
question.
Mataji.
Thank you. So, okay, Kleshagni. So, Kleshagni in two ways, right? One is destruction of ignorance, and the second is destroying all these four reactions of, sinful reactions. So, we discussed Aprarabdha and Bijam. What is the next?
Kutam.
Yes, Amol Prabhu. What is Kutam?
That is basically effect of the maturity age urge. Basically, that's urge.
Almost mature. Okay, so we are almost like getting there. Okay, I want to do it right now.
Yeah.
It's like proclivity is up until here.
Yeah.
So we just have to do it. So sinful proclivity or almost mature reaction, right?
Yes.
Very nice. Thank you.
Mataji, I have a question here. This is about to be fructified, right? This Kutam.
Yes.
What are the
Yes.
simple activities done? We
Yeah.
are going to about to receive those reactions.
Yes. The reaction could be anything.
Yes.
Reaction could be engaging in another sinful activity. Or reaction could be just some other like like prarabdha. It's going to manifest in legal implication or health or this or that or whatever that produces anxiety in our lives. Either
Uh,
way.
Now, like I would like to understand a little difference here.
Okay, sure.
Prarabdha and Kutam. So even Kutam is almost about to mature. We are about to receive reactions. But Aprarabdha also similar to that,
Very
unmanifested way.
similar.
Yeah.
Yes, very similar, very similar. But the way I understood in the book, I also get confused. So I had to understand. So the way I understood is Kutam is like, what is that? The proclivity is what is Kutam. It's not exactly just receiving the reaction, but the tendency that sits as a seed becomes sprouted at this point.
Mhm.
The seed of sinful desire becomes a little bit more mature. Sinful desire becomes mature. That itself is a reaction. You see what I'm saying?
Yes,
Am I
ma'am.
making sense? Yeah. But then
Uh,
whereas aprarabdha, it is sitting there, almost mature, it's sitting there, but we haven't really, gotten the manifestation of it in our lives.
okay.
Yeah.
Yes,
And prarabdha is manifested. Like if you were to even think our own, even if we are in good space, right? Okay, all of us are, kind of professionals and we all have whatever, like families, or we have some good qualities, we have some whatever it is. Even all these are prarabdha karma.
yeah.
This body is prarabdha karma.
Yeah.
That's true.
Right? This face, this mouth, I have that, this whole thing, everything is prarabdha karma. 1 second. Not here. No. So yeah, this is all prarabdha karma.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is how sadhana bhakti actually piece by piece destroys our klesha agni. Oh. One second, dear devotees. I had to switch places again. Again, today I'm like all over the place. Okay. I hope this is my last step, last um, settling now. I'm out of town, I'm somewhere else, and I'm just trying to see where to fit in. Okay. All right. It's not even comfortable once. Okay, all right, let's do this. So, yeah, so relief of miseries or kleshagni. Now, Shubhada. Who remembers the three components in Shubhada? All invokes all auspiciousness. How sadhana bhakti gives all auspiciousness? I think there are 3 points, babe.
Attracts and benefits everyone.
Okay.
Generates saintly qualities.
Awards happiness.
Okay, good. So the sadhana bhakti attracts and benefits everyone, anyone and everyone. This is a shubha, this is an auspicious thing that actually even persons who may not have that much inclination, they'll feel attracted to it. You know, they may not practice. It's not like everybody will become a sadhaka, but actually this attraction, this benefit, that there is nobody's barred. That's what it means. Basically, nobody is excluded. It's not like for prime members only. It's not like that. It's beyond caste, creed, color, and even species. Anybody, right? Of course, human beings make more advantage of this. It's easier, but otherwise it's like everyone, correct? So that's what it means by how sadhana bhakti attracts and benefits everyone, and then generates saintly qualities. What do you think about that?
The demigod's qualities manifest into the devotee.
Okay, so none of us have become demigods yet, but we are somewhere in the process. Because we are able to identify our faults. Isn't that a big thing? Honestly, just imagine that out there, if you go and tell that I'm not humble, I'm this, I'm that, people will think that you're depressed. But we are not actually speaking from a depressed perspective. We are speaking from an understanding perspective. I think it's a very different zone altogether. Out there, when I see people who feel that they are not capable, they don't have this quality, they are feeling proud. I mean, nobody even tells these things, but even if somebody tells it, it is actually not from an acceptance perspective. It is from the place of depression. I low self-esteem. You see what I'm saying? But here, when we say these things, we want to accept this as this is where I stand. So if I score like 50% in my test, there's no shame about it. This is where I stand. But I want to work towards 70% or 80% or whatever it is. You know what I mean? Of course, it's not like a scoring card, but it's wrong, very wrong analogy. But anyway, I'm just saying this, to see, okay, in a marathon or something, to 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 be able to even participate in a marathon is what, how many miles?
26.
Oh my God, I can't. They say Govardhan Parikrama or something like that. Anyway,
Yes.
so so to even participate in it requires courage, right? But who cares if we, go reach first or reach last? Isn't it? That much understanding is given. So it's generating saintly qualities means that we actually start developing self-acceptance, but at the same time, not settle into that zone. We still try to improve. You see what I'm saying? Self-acceptance, but not not compliant. What do you call complacency? And therefore, submitting ourselves is even after the fact. Okay, we lost it somewhere with some devotees, somewhere in some. But even to submit that, whoa, I lost it. That is genuine, right? So generating saintly qualities because we feel accepted by Krishna. If we genuinely feel accepted by Guru and Krishna or Srila Prabhupada's family, then we are okay to be humble, right? Otherwise, we got to put ourselves up in the front. That's the culture of this world. Yeah. Anyway, so what's the third thing we said?
It bestows all superior happiness, Mataji.
Yeah. So Priyanka Mataji, what are the other happiness that is being spoken here? The happiness that comes from
That by doing the devotional service, Mataji.
yeah. So that is superior, right? That's superior. Superior to other
Superior
kinds.
to all kinds of happiness,
Yeah,
which we
in
gain
that,
in the material world.
yeah. So in that there are two important things are listed.
Bhukti and
Mukti.
Siddhi.
Three actually, yeah,
Yeah,
you're right.
three.
Bhukti, Mukti,
Siddhi.
Siddhi, Mataji.
Bhukti, Mukti, Siddhi, correct. So because each of these also give happiness. Bhukti also gives happiness, material enjoyment basically, just get some nice facility and you feel thrilled and we feel happy, right? I mean, I'm visiting some family and they have a massage chair here. I'm like, wow, it gives so much nice massage. I was like enjoying it. It's like, so it gives some level of pleasure, not denying it. But I won't surrender to this for my lifetime, right? So, but this is also there, that is like our the bhukti. It's not material enjoyment, but it is also material enjoyment in one sense. It's like that. And then when you have I don't know, whatever is high end, I think. Um, they have like a convertible car. So it's like, I mean, it's a big deal, right? To have something like that. It gives something, but then that is not the crux why a person is living for, right? A devotee is always living for something higher. But all these side things are coming in our life to use, not get attached. So bhukti gives some pleasure. And Siddhi also gives some pleasure. What kind of pleasure Siddhi gives? Some people can do mind reading.
Yeah, mystic powers, Mataji. These
Mystic
are.
powers. I mean, isn't it like, it's like we feel powerful, right? When somebody has mystic power, they feel powerful. It gives a kick to the person. It gives like a thrill, right? So that is also a sense of happiness. And mukti, bhukti, yeah, mukti, liberation also is somewhat sense of happiness, not really, but then somewhat, right? But above and beyond all this is bhakti. Happiness coming from bhakti. Why? Because the reservoir of pleasure is there with us at this point. Rasamrita Murti, Akhila Rasamrita Murti is standing right by side of us. Therefore, the happiness is also ever expanding. That's why, right? So this is sadhana bhakti. Two qualities. Klesha Agni, that is, destroys material miseries. And then Shubhada, that means awards or, awards superior, awards all auspiciousness. These two are the characteristic for sadhana bhakti. We are still recapping, by the way. We haven't even gone to today's session. Then the next, where is my PowerPoint? Yeah. So the next is Bhava Bhakti. there are two, again, we are not going into details in this, okay? Because when we come to Bhava Bhakti chapters, we'll go through this. Moksha Laguta Krit. If you don't want to learn this Sanskrit, I'm totally fine. This meaning the happiness that is in Bhava Bhakti derides the happiness of liberation. I mean, Bhava Bhakti people, they don't even care for liberation. They're just happy serving Krishna in that Bhava Bhakti platform. So that is being given to them, right? And there's lots of quotes, we will go through it later in 4th chapter. And then the other quality is Sudurlabha. Bhava Bhakti is rare to attain. Why? Because Krishna gets captured and controlled at that point. Meaning, Krishna comes under the control of a devotee almost, you know. He's always supremely independent, but he also becomes, what do you call, happily obliged to this devotee. So he comes under the control of the devotee. Therefore, he is very careful who he wants to come under the control of. He doesn't want to come under the control of everybody because they'll abuse him. So he is very careful where he wants to be. Therefore, he doesn't award it very easily. You know, bhava is not by our own practice. Bhava is something given to us. You know, bhava bhakti is revealed subject matter, right? We cannot practice bhava bhakti. Can we practice bhava bhakti? We cannot, because it's just a different stage altogether, right? Then next is prema bhakti. Two characteristics of prema bhakti or Sandrananda Viseshatma, meaning it awards transcendental pleasure or concentrated bliss. And then Prema Bhakti is the only means to completely captivate Krishna, fully capture Krishna. So if you notice in this three categories, you know, one side is all about happiness. You see, relief of miseries, sadhana bhakti, happiness that goes beyond liberation, bhava bhakti, and then concentrated bliss is prema bhakti, one side of it, right? It's all gradations of happiness in one sense, yeah? And the other side is like how what is the benediction that's given, you know, this Shubhada, all auspiciousness come into life, and then Bhava Bhakti is rare to attain, and Prema Bhakti is the only thing that will completely capture Krishna. So this is what is described in chapter 1. Can we go to chapter 2 now? Are you all convinced with all this? So we recapped preface, introduction, and chapter 1.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Thank you for all the thumbs up. Okay. Vachas is still there. I don't see him. Oh, you're there. Okay. I missed your last few sessions, Vachas. Where
No,
were you?
I was here. I was just on listening mode. Yeah.
Last week? Oh,
Yeah, I
okay.
was here last week too.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you. Okay. And who's missing? We didn't do attendance today. I get carried away. Let me see. I guess we got to do that. Let me pull up my spreadsheet. Where is it? NOD. Okay. Today is 19th. Yeah. Okay. Amala Bhakti Mataji is there. And Amol Prabhu is there. Anshu Mataji is there. Archita Mataji is there. Balaram Sharan Prabhu. Bhumi
Mataji,
Mataji.
last week also I was there, but joined
Yeah.
a bit.
Yeah. I marked Prabhu. I saw you. Thank you. Bhaktaswar Prabhu is there. Deepan Prabhu, are you there?
Yes, Mataji, I'm here.
Perfect. Okay. Drashti is there. Krishnangi Radha Mataji is there, right?
Hare Krishna.
Hari
Yes.
Bol. Okay. Madhavi Mata is there, Manjula Mataji is there, Mayuri Mataji is there, Megha Mataji is there, Mamata Mataji. Then Neena Mataji, are you there?
Yes, Mataji.
Awesome. Okay.
Rajakumari also.
Yes, I saw you, Mataji. Thank you. Priyanka Mataji, Rachna Mataji, Ranjita Mataji, Ravindra Prabhu, Sri Jagannath Prabhu, Saujanya Mataji. I saw Saujanya Mataji. You there?
Yes, Mataji. Yes, Mataji. I'm
Okay. Yeah. Then Supriya Mataji is there. Tarun Krishna Prabhu, I didn't see. Is he there? No. No. Okay, Vachas. Then Hemalata Mataji, I did not see last week too. Check on her. I hope she's okay. James Prabhu, I saw you. Lakshmi Mataji, are you there? No. Rajakumari.
Mataji, Lakshmi Mataji, she told she'll text you. She's not
Okay.
joining Bhakti Sastri Mataji in first module also. She did not. So
Oh, okay.
you can actually take out her name. She said, I told her to message you, but I don't know. I mean, she
Okay.
forgot.
Okay, no problem. Thank you for letting me know so I don't have to keep looking.
It's Lakshmi Yellamali, right?
Lakshmi Reddy.
Yes, Lakshmi Reddy.
Same.
Yes,
Okay, all right.
yes.
Not ready, I think. Yelamanchili only.
Or
Lakshmi.
I don't know.
Oh,
Some
yeah, Lakshmi Reddy only. Yellamachili.
I'll figure out. I'll ask Pratibha Prabhu. I don't
Yeah.
know. Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, now today we will go into chapter 2. And chapter 2, I don't have a PowerPoint today. Instead, I have a mind map kind of a thing. I will send that. It's a handwritten notes. So I'm going to send that to you. I'm sorry. I hope you can understand my handwriting. Let me just, where is it? Bhakti Sastri group. Yeah, I'm sending in WhatsApp. I'll also project, I guess. It's not easy. So this chapter is going to actually, give a glimpse into sadhana bhakti. Begin looking at sadhana bhakti basically. Share. Yeah, this is my not great presentation, but this is the notes right now. Okay. So devotional service. Now in this particular chapter, Prabhupada speaks about devotional service as a continuum, right? I don't know if any of you got to read it. If not, that's fine. Next time we will try to read ahead of time. So Prabhupada says how this he begins first of all telling about 3 categories of devotional service. And, sadhana bhakti, bhava bhakti, prema bhakti. And then under these, there are so many different categories, so many different subheadings, basically. So now here, Prabhupada is beginning this particular chapter by saying, what is the eligibility for devotional service? Okay. Eligibility for devotional service, Prabhupada says, is taste or attraction. Okay. Taste or attraction is the eligibility for devotional service. And this taste is not what we are talking about, ruchi, nishta, not that stage of bhakti. This taste is a preliminary taste, preliminary faith. If you want to say shraddha, that is also fine. But it's just that preliminary faith that one has is the beginning for bhakti. And how does that come? How does that come is something that that is given here in this chapter. Any taste that we have today is the effect of mercy of, could you make the slide bigger, please? Yeah, 1 second. because where is Zoom? Screen share. How do I do this? I can't. Can you? Can you see now?
Yes, Mataji. It's perfect.
Okay. Sorry, I mean, I should have written a little better.
Not
But
at all.
anyway.
It's very nice. Thank
Yeah. So this particular taste that a devotee, all each of us have, right, is or attraction or taste that we have, is an indication that we have received some mercy, whether in this life or last life, somewhere. Okay, because without the devotee's mercy, this taste is not going to be there. Okay, so first of all, we will acknowledge that how we are actually having this mercy in our life. So that gives rise to this taste. Okay, that's how Prabhupada begins this chapter. What is the taste about? So taste means what? Taste is not for like something esoteric. Actually, taste for understanding Bhakti Shastra. You see the beauty? The taste is not, we are not saying we have taste for serving Krishna all the time. We are like, not like being in spirit soul position all the time. No, this beginning taste is taste for even understanding what does Shastra say. I want to understand Shastra. I want to understand scripture. This taste for Shastra is a taste we're talking about. You see? That's a difference between the taste here and taste in after Nishta stage. You see the difference? So the preliminary taste for understanding Bhakti Shastra and placing faith that there is something higher that I don't know and this is going to tell me. So for us, it's Prabhupada books. Some faith in Prabhupada books is a beginning of sadhana bhakti. Understood? And that is given by the mercy of a devotee. It's not always like that we have encountered some very perfected soul, but even a Madhyama Adhikari pass it on to us, right? So this is how Prabhupada begins this particular chapter 2. Yeah? Okay. So that's that. Yeah. And then Prabhupada goes into definition of sadhana bhakti. Okay. Yeah. So definition of sadhana bhakti, here Prabhupada simply says, employing our senses and our mind, if you see here. Employing our senses and our mind in practical devotional service with the goal of awakening the bhava. So we all are practicing bhakti, right? We all are trying to practice bhakti. But somewhere or the other, it becomes mechanical for us, isn't it? It becomes like some time of a chore or a routine for us. Why? Because we are not thinking, we are not trying to keep in mind that this is going to actually invoke bhava bhakti in me. You know? So every time when this has to be kept in the forefront, what is the result that I'm going to get out of this? You know, what is this going to give me? Then there'll be some impetus. So I'm chanting, I'm doing all this because it will actually awaken my natural state. This has to be kept in mind. There is a beautiful verse actually as a definition of sadhana bhakti. I didn't include here. I'll send it separately. It is called, it goes like this. Kriti sadhya, bhavet sadhya, bhava sa sadhana bida. Nitya siddhasya bhavasya prakatyam hridi sadhyata. Meaning, actions and activities, devotional activities that is performed with one's senses and mind, keeping the goal of bhava bhakti or keeping the faith that this is going to awaken my bhava bhakti is called sadhana bhakti. This is the definition of sadhana bhakti, okay? What is the definition of sadhana? engaging our senses and mind in activities of devotional service with an understanding that this is going to awaken my bhava. That is what is sadhana bhakti means. Not just dry engagement, but actually understanding and placing faith and then engaging. That is called sadhana bhakti. Okay. So whenever we go dry in our practices, we feel a dry patch, we can try to remember, okay, what is this going to give me? This is going to actually awaken my natural state. And at that state, I will not feel dry. So right now, let me just tolerate, again, like Achita Mother is going, tolerate this dry patch and continue practicing. So many times we got to just forgive ourselves, tolerate, keep continuing, So that is sadhana bhakti definition. And Prabhupada gives this beautiful analogy in the purport, child learning to walk. This is my favorite actually. Child learning to walk. And then of course, psychiatrist curing the mental disease, disease of the mind. So child learning to walk is such a beautiful analogy. When we know, right? I mean, many of your parents here, when a child is born, how tender is their limbs? They're like tiny little things, like they're tiny little beings, and they don't have the formation. But when the first time when the child stands on their leg, knees are even bent. Can you imagine? Like you can see, right, how crawling stage and then standing up. When standing up is always holding someone. The child is always holding somebody, someone. I fall, even though after holding, fall again, but never, no, the child does not stop getting up and running, So that should be our mood that, okay, we may fall 100 times, but we also want to get up 100 times, When will we be able to do that? When we don't care when am I going to get the result. Instead, we are just trying to do it because it's in us. It is our activity. We continue doing it without expecting that timeline that I have to feel something right now. I have to feel the strength right now. No, whether I feel or not, I'm going to continue. This is my nature to engage in devotional service. Is a kid thinking, if I get up and walk now, I won't fall? Is a kid planning on it? When you see a toddler, there is no plan for them, right? The kid is not planning that I will get up and I'll walk until there. There's no plan. I want to walk. That's all. Period. Isn't it? What a simplicity of mind when we think about it, right? The mentality of a 2-year-old getting up and running is no goal. Are they keeping a goal? They're okay, I need to take 10,000 steps today. There is no goal like that. There is not even a goal that I have to get up from here. I have to go to, bedroom. There is no goal. They just want to get up and walk. Right? So then they may even, if somebody laughs at them, no. If they feel hurt, no problem. They'll keep on getting up and walking. So that simplicity of heart is a strength. Okay, no matter whether I look good, when a kid falls, do they fall very beautifully? They go flat on the ground, right? And then their face is smooshed and they may have some, they cry and they look really pathetic. We also fall and we feel pathetic. But we had somehow developed as an adult, we somehow have developed this image about ourselves. That if I fall, I look ugly. This is our thought process. If I fall, I look incapable. This is our thought process, right? We have so many layers of unnecessary emotions built into it. Shame, embarrassment, what other problems come when we fall? What other emotions do we feel? All kinds of things. Do you all feel some emotions when you fail? I don't know.
Yeah, Madhu.
It's
Yeah.
yeah. We feel fear that though somebody will judge me.
Yeah, that's
If
the
the
first one.
yeah, if the kid starts thinking, oh, my parents are going to judge me, my siblings are going to judge me, oh, my everybody's going to judge me, can never get up, walk again. You see what I'm saying? I'm not saying these feelings are not valid. We have, somehow or other, unfortunately, material world forces us to have all these feelings. But indulging in those feelings, we should try to avoid. Getting into it and then becoming lost in that feelings, we should try to avoid. We cannot avoid emotions. We cannot avoid feelings in this world. But we want to... Huh? Okay. We want to not stop ourselves because of those emotions. You see? Anyway, so that is child learning to walk. You think about this child learning to walk for next 1 week. You see how interesting lessons we'll get sometimes, Yeah, anyway, I'll stop here. 1 second. Okay, so this is something that Prabhupada speaks in the purport, in the description. And then, yeah. So most important part of sadhana bhakti, what do we want, what are we recommended to do? Somehow or other, fix your mind on Krishna. Yena tena prakarena mana Krishna niveshayat. Meaning, somehow or other, okay, if we all want to commit to chanting and reading and hearing, and if something will help us to fix our mind in these things, we should do that. Okay, so I always had this practice, some time ago, that if I don't feel enthusiasm to chant or hear or read, do something pretty practical. Move my hands and legs and do something. Sometimes subtle desires are not awakened. Do something very practical that will bring some energy in our life. And then apply that energy. Don't get lost in that energy, or don't waste it, again, over endeavoring, but apply that energy in my sadhana. Sometimes we have dry patch in our sadhana. Understood. We all are going through this difficulty, right? But what do we want to do in order to bring back the fire, right? So if you have to just get up and go for a walk, do it. Or okay, call somebody and talk, do it. Or just okay, clean the house and offer that as Krishna's service, do it. Or get up and just okay, go to, if temple gives you solace, okay, just go to temple and just do some basic menial service. But we need to put our mind in it. You see what I'm saying? We need to know that, okay, I'm feeling a dry patch. I want to take help. Therefore, I will do this. I remember clearly one time when my health was really horrible, lots of, surgical effects and what all those, I was like really dulled out. I didn't have anything to hold on to. Then one of my friends and I went out book distribution every day for 1 hour. It's just 1 hour, nothing more, nothing less. It's exactly like, okay, 7 to 8 means 7 to 8 because we also worked every day, whether we gave books, didn't give books, anything, every single day, just go out and just do something, interact with people and glorify the book and get some energy, come back and chant, something like that. We need to discover sometimes that practical activity might help us to come out of our mental box, our mental space. Then engage again in devotional service with our mind intact. Anyway, so all right. So in this particular chapter, again, I'll recap what all we did till now. First, Prabhupada speaks about eligibility for sadhana bhakti. That is, taste or attraction is the eligibility. What is a taste attraction towards? Taste or attraction towards Bhakti Shastra, scriptures. Okay. And how does this taste or attraction come? By mercy of a devotee, whether this lifetime, last lifetime. This helps us to execute devotional service. This is one piece. Next, Prabhupada talks about definition of sadhana bhakti. Engaging our mind and senses in activities of devotional service, knowing that this is going to awaken my bhava bhakti. That is called as sadhana bhakti. There is a reference from Chaitanya Charitamrita, by the way. Okay. And an analogy given for this is child learning to walk and psychiatrist treating the disease. Yeah. And then why we are doing this? Somehow or other to fix our mind on Krishna. The last description in this purport is two types of sadhana bhakti, Vaidhi sadhana and Raganuga sadhana. So, where am I? What is this? This introduction. Oh no, where am I gone? 1 second. So Vaidhi and Raganuga sadhana bhakti is described in this chapter. Oh, I closed it. So, okay. Vaidhi sadhana bhakti is what we are all engaged in. Okay. Can you? I can't even find it now. 1 second. Oh. Yeah, so Vaidhi sadhana bhakti is what we are all practicing. Vaidhi means practice, right? Vaidhi sadhana means early devotional service, practice. So there is no spontaneous love or there is no like intense attachment to Krishna. We are doing because we want to keep our word to spiritual master Srila Prabhupada, or we are doing because we know that this is good for us, you know. So this is sadhana bhakti practiced out of obligation. Okay, obligation or understanding. That is Vaidhi sadhana bhakti. Raganuga sadhana bhakti is when we don't have to keep alarm for waking up to chant. We don't have to have japa calls all the time. We don't have to have somebody who motivate us every single day. It just naturally we want to get up. Naturally we want to do these activities. And naturally we want to give up our false ego. It's not like when somebody nudges us and pushes, life pushes and pulls us. We naturally want to give up some things. So Raganu sadhana bhakti is something that is, we have attraction, very intense attraction to sadhana practices. Okay. Right now we are doing it because we committed, which is also not bad. You know, both are important actually. So only these three things are discussed in the second chapter. Yeah. Eligibility for devotional service, definition of sadhana bhakti, and types of sadhana bhakti. These are the three main points discussed in chapter 2. I know we didn't do too much visuals today. All of you are okay?
Yeah.
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, so that's all we are going to discuss today. I don't want to go more than this. So next week, we will go into chapter 3. Okay. So now for chapter 2, if you can contemplate on, read through the chapter once, and then, I also have some practical things. We'll do it together next time, actually. We'll do it next time in the class. But I'll share this, I'll upload, or I already shared in the group, this little mind map kind of a thing. I would suggest that all of you also come up with your own mind map, you know, try to come up with your own thing for a chapter. But this is like a summary sheet for chapter 2. Okay. Yeah. So we covered preface, introduction, chapter 1, chapter 2. Chapter 1 was general description with 6 characteristics. Chapter 2 is in-depth, not in-depth, like a brief introduction to sadhana bhakti. Yes, Neena Mataji. Yeah.
But you were about to say that we should contemplate on this week, if you could
Yeah,
meditate.
I wanted to do this. Yeah.
It's very
So,
helpful because the first week you said that, when we started, we'll contemplate on the word Akhila.
yeah,
So when you say this, it keeps on bringing our mind back to back and try to find Akhila. So like that, if you give us every week one thing to contemplate, it's
sure.
awesome.
Wonderful. Thank you. So I think I would say for this week, child learning to walk. I mean, really get into the
Oh, I like
details
it.
of it. Yeah. Get into the details of it. The child learning to walk. Try to watch videos of child learning to walk. You know, there are so many YouTube funny videos. You can laugh and all that. But you just see how, I mean, what the body posture, what is the maximum strength that this child might have. Just go into the subtlety of this child learning to walk, not just the appearance of it, you know. What will impel a child to walk actually? You know, what is it? Because there is no planning there. You see what I'm saying? It's not like a planned activity. So kind of contemplate on how does that, why is Prabhupada giving that as an analogy for sadhana bhakti? You know, why is he giving that? You know, it's very interesting that he didn't choose anything big. He just basic he has chosen, you know. So if I am a child in this path of bhakti, would it be simpler for us to practice than what we are now with all our upadhis, you know, lots of designations that we have, even within bhakti life, you know what I mean? So what kind of simplicity we would get individually, each of us, what kind of simplicity we would be receiving if we contemplate on this analogy. Just think about that. Maybe that'll be, I'm also going to think about that. Actually, this was my essay that I wrote when I studied Bhakti Sastri. So when NOD essay came, then we all need to write essays. I chose this as my essay. I chose this as my go-to because unless, you know, there is that natural acceptance that I am imperfect, and the natural acceptance that no matter whatever I look like, whatever I, you know, come across, or whatever I am to myself, I still will continue practicing. That's when we can continue practicing, because this world is very distracting. Our life is very, you know, visibly difficult sometimes, right? Challenging. And we are running against the current. We are actually swimming against the current. If we don't keep our strength internally intact, we can't do anything. And strength does not mean to be stiff and strong. Strength means to be pliable and resilient and not give up despite all odds, like a child, you know. So if I don't think of myself any big shot, then I don't have to worry about my image. You know what I mean? It's easy. Only when we have this image about ourselves, we got to maintain it. Now I'm like a kid. Okay, whatever, you know. It's like that. So it's little easier. You know, literally we can do sometimes, but it's still, this analogy helps. So maybe that's a good one to do. Next week, remind me when we come together, we'll do this roles and goals exercise. This was really helpful for me when I studied. And I don't want to add that layer today. Please remind me as much as possible, before even we go into the session, we'll do this roles and goals exercise together. Okay. That'll be nice. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. That's it for today. I'll thank you. Thanks for the thumbs up and James Prabhu. And I'm really happy seeing everybody smiling, and it's so nice. Anyone who can come on video, just say Haribol on the video. We don't care if you have good makeup or not.
Haribol.
Haribol.
Thank you, Mataji.
Haribol Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Thank you. And everybody, all of you have a physical copy of NOD, or you're all Veda based out?
Had the physical
We,
copy.
we have Mataji.
Okay.
We have Mataji.
We have Mataji.
Perfect. So if you have a physical copy of NOD, please hug your book every day.
Yes, Mataji.
Okay. Keep your book next to your bed. It's not, we are not on reference mood with this book right now. We want to fall in love with the book. We want to fall in love with the, the subject matter. So if you want, just keep on your bed, sleep with it, put it under your pillow, whatever you want to do, but just always keep it close to your heart. Okay. That's the only way. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Okay, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Vaishnavebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo. Everybody, Hare Krishna. Nice to see you, Krishnangi Radha Mataji. We haven't met personally.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Next.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you so much, Mataji.